Hello, darling. I'm Mandy. And if you've seen any of our other blog videos, you have heard from Martha's Trouble. And I am so excited today to get to share Jen Slocumb with you. She's in town, and we are going to hang out today and just talk about the band and touring and the family and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Thanks. So, okay, tell me about your kiddos.
We've got a 5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son.
And your hubby?
Yes.
Hubby, Rob.
We play as a duo, so he plays guitar and I sing and play percussion. And sometimes we'll bring the kids with us on tour. That's what I prefer. But sometimes it's just too hard to bring them, you know, for travel purposes. You know, we're kind of going a far distance and, you know, turning right back around, you know, so sometimes it's better for them just to stay at home. So we have a nanny that stays at home with them, or she comes with us and travels with us.
How long have you been playing music together?
I guess about 18 years.
Wow.
So been married for 17 years, and yeah, so it's been an interesting road for sure.
And you guys have kind of a unique situation being on tour frequently and with your kiddos and how you manage all of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we first found out we were having kids, well, our first child, you know, we're kind of like, what does this mean for our career, you know, and because we would tour full time. And, you know, the best advice I had was, you know, you don't have to change for your child. You know, your child can fit into what you do. So we kind of had that approach, and when Wilson was a baby, I mean, I think when he was like a couple weeks old, we brought him with us, and he's been all over the place. So
and probably met all sorts of people and all sorts of cool experiences.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, they get to meet a lot of people, you know, and it's just nice having them along, and you know, especially doing a children's album now. You know, having them there with us a lot of times for doing those kind of shows and events. Sometimes they'll get up and sing with us or play with us, so it's really, really cool.
Do you have any funny stories from being on tour with the kids?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, I guess the thing I can think of first is, you know, last year we decided to do a summer tour of house concerts, and so we decided we would take the minivan and put the kids in, bring the nanny. We had our little dog, we brought him, and then we had just got a kitten. So we couldn't leave the kitten home.
The whole crew with
so
you.
we had all of that in a minivan, and you know, we just traveled in that, and it was crazy. It was some of the craziest times. You know, we'd have to sneak in the litter box into the hotel room. You know, it's hard to disguise that as luggage, you know? So, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
You write all sorts of songs, I'm sure, about your experience.
Yeah.
With the dog and the cat.
I know, it's been crazy. I mean, even on this trip here to Denver, you know, we brought the cat and dog, and so they travel well too.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's so awesome that you get to experience that with your family.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing we wanted, is to not just have, you know, our you know, career about what we do, but kind of incorporate the kids in it, you know, and be able to, I mean, I guess, you know, since we don't have a regular job that we go to in one place, you know, our job is, you know, all over the place, and you know, getting to travel to a lot of different places and meet people, you know, to us it's great exposure for them to be used to different cultures and people, and experience different things like that. So we want to definitely have them, you know, participate.
Yeah. So you guys are just coming out with a new album, a lullaby album, and that's kind of a different genre for you.
It is. We you know, we've done several albums, never thinking we would ever do a children's album. You know, it's kind of one of those things like 10 years ago we would have never thought we would have done a children's album. But, you know, after having kids of our own and, you know, trying to find music for them to listen to when they were babies, and, you know, I think in our culture, we're so overstimulated. You know, kids can just go from one thing to the next, and we're always trying to keep them busy. And, you know, our style of music is definitely more relaxed and, you know, something you can chill out to. So we didn't want to do a children's album that was opposite to that, you know, but similar in the way that it was kind of our style, just focus more on children. So yeah, it's basically a lullaby album, and you know, we wrote some songs for it. We did some traditional songs as well, because you know, there's a lot of great lullabies that have been around for a long time, you know, and I've even had friends that have said, you know, sometimes I don't know what to sing to my child at night when they're going to bed. You know, they're like, we'll sing a top 40 song or whatever, you know, and which is good to be singing anyway, but you know, having specific songs that speak, you know, positive things into your child at such a young age is so important.
Absolutely.
So.
And there's a special song on the album called Slocumb's Lullaby.
Yeah, we well, when the kids were babies, there was a song that I would always sing to the kids, and then Rob also had a song that he would always sing. So when we were doing the album, we were like, it would be really cool to somehow tie those two together. So basically, it's a mashup of two traditional lullabies, and so it turned out really cool. But it was fun to do. Yeah.
That is such a neat legacy to give to your kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Really cool. And you wrote some original music.
We did. You know, we wanted some original music on the album as well, and you know, being parents and going through those experiences with, you know, with your child, you know, we wanted specific things to say, and it was very intentional on, you know, what kind of music we needed and what kind of, you know, patterns and that sort of thing as far as percussion. And so yeah, I mean, one of the songs is called Good Night, Sweet Child, and you know, basically it's just a song about security and, you know, making them feel secure and loved, you know, so that's as they're going to sleep. So that's what that's about.
And so if anyone's interested, they can find the CD at marthastrouble.com.
Yes, it's on our website as well as some other, you know, music sites, iTunes or Amazon, that sort of thing.
And the name of the CD?
It's called A Little Heart Like You.
Awesome, A Little Heart Like You. Would you guys be up for playing us something?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Awesome.
Sure,
Let's
sure.
have Rob join us.
Yes,
And,
we'll have to bring him in.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play guitar.
I don't know if I can pull it off. All right, Rob, it's all you.
It's quiet out, the moon is sleeping. The stars take their place up in the sky. Now close your eyes, it's time for dreaming. As I sing to you this lullaby. Good night, you are God's delight, so precious in His sight. Good night, good night. Good night, sweet child, good night. Angels take their flight to watch over you tonight. Good night, good night. Dreamland has come and it is peaceful. It's where imaginations fly. These safe and loving arms that keep you will always be by